Well, hello everyone. I realise I shouldn't actually be doing this and shouldn't be doing the intro like this because chat box. Well, it's just as well as no chat at the moment. Welcome to the Art and ASMR AS Malk R stream. My tongue twister and a half to get through. Yeah. Let's just jump into things. I was going to say I don't even have nothing open yet, but I do. Just bear with me whilst I do the last bits of setup. And also, again, don't worry about the thing in the bottom right. It's just a placeholder for what I'm actually going to be listening to. So, you know, no DMCA shit here. As much as YouTube keeps trying to copyright claim me. It's like, every time it says copyright claimed on one of these, like, yeah, it's fine. The copyright holder has said that this can be used and will run ads on my site. Like I get monetized on YouTube anyway. As you can see, we are delving back into what was done yesterday. Last week. A week ago, not. No. Put my art glove on. Slipping it right on there. Right deep in there. There we go. And let's just check volume-wise, it's fine. And yeah, so start the Miracle of Sound randomizer thing and see what comes up. I'm wondering if that's too quiet. Should have tested this beforehand. Oh well. Could do with it being a bit higher, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it could be good. Okay. Right. Yeah, progress is as it was. Now I know I had the volume turned down a bit. Okay, let me just fix that just slightly. There we are. Wasn't actually any need to change it. Okay. Yep, we are continuing on with what we had started yesterday. And immediately has been open for so long that it immediately wants to autosave as soon as I touch it. I didn't do that. Weird. Okay, so we are doing the colour on Lydia's bit. Oh no, this is Imari. So I've not done. Oh right, yeah, because I noticed something that was issue that I corrected off stream, because otherwise I would have forgotten about it by now, because I did just forget about it. So basically what had happened was the tail bit round here in front of Lydia's hips was, because it's on because the folder is on a lower layer than Lydia's part is. Lydia was superimposed over the tail when the tail was meant to be going, there between, through the legs. So I had to basically strategically go onto Lydia's layer and erase those bits around there. I have no idea what I just did. So I had to erase those bits around there and make sure that it was all good. And I also changed the orientation of the mouth. I keep doing stuff. Yeah, so I changed the orientation of the mouth very slightly to make it actually look like a 3D image. Yeah, so now what I need to do is I need to try and do the stars. And the issue is that the stars are going to be very difficult to do because I'm not the best at drawing stars. Just not. And I need to do three. I need to do 3 stars of varying sizes. And the fact that we found out last week that I'm working with a lower resolution, that's going to make things a bit difficult. Let me just first off get all these windows up properly. There we are. Yeah, that's all awesome. Here we go. This one's going to be the most difficult one to do, I think. Grab the colour needed from palette. This is going to have to be a very, very thin assortment of lines. Is there a reason why that's not doing it? Yes, there is, because it's on still have the Imari layer selected. GG, mate. Let's just hide that from view because it's not needed at the moment. So let's do. That is probably the worst start I have ever drawn in my entire life. That is, oh right, no, I wanted to zoom out. Doesn't look too bad. It could be a lot better, but okay, now this one. Okay, so the issue with this, not so much of an issue, that's something to bear in mind, is the fact that the stars are oriented to the body parts. So here, for example, we need a star that goes like that, like that, like that, and then coloured in. Now again, over here, at least this one can be a slightly larger star, but it is going to need to be oriented the right way for the limb. It does need to be, God, it's pretty difficult to tell. Okay, so there's a cross like that, 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 and that. This is why I don't do stars a lot, because they end up looking very bad when I do them. Survivorcraft theme. Sounds like something you'd get in Minecraft, honestly, with that title. Okay, there. Now let's see how that looks. Zoomed out. It could look a lot worse, it could look better, but it's not at my skill level. Yeah, that could do. That'll do. Oh, that's something I wanted to bring up as well. Okay. So if that's on the colour layer, I need to erase that. No, that's on the line art layer. Okay. That's very much, I'm certain that is where Imari's tail is. Let's just, you know, be... Yeah. Yeah, so... That on colour? That is indeed on colour. One's still on line art though, I think. Yeah, I know. That one's on colour as well. There we go. I think... I believe actually that is everything that I can do colour-wise. However, there is something I need to go and pull up in the form of a guide that I have. Guides. Please tell me I actually named this. Okay, so it's not that. It's not that either. Where the fuck did I put this? Did I know that I saw this. I know I've looked at it recently as well, which is what inspired me to actually want to re-refer to it. Shadows, shading, pause, reference sheets, smells, shifting, lighting, weather effects, latex effect, video scale, how to draw, horizon, hands, fairy hands, another. Oh, there it is. Is it? I mean, technically it's electricity, but it still works. Okay, so let me just have a look at this tutorial. Use dark brown for better results. Yeah. With a white pencil, draw the lines. You can adjust them by the hammer. That's fine. Try different shapes. So you layer under the lines. Draw with an airbrush or lower the flow and opacity of your current brush. It's okay, yeah. Lay out under your first glow, a bit of colour. It's been more large and diffused than the previous layer. This stuff light and low blend. It possibly could work. Very bright, yep. There you're done. So basically, I need to create 2 underlayers of underwear. Oh, God. Although to be fair, it's not going to work so well. Because there's stuff around it. That's going to be an issue. I really should have done the space stuff on its own layer. I really should have done. Oh, well, that's something for me to think of later. Well, for another time anyway. So that's completely botched my idea for this. Entirely botched. It happens. Well, that does mean that this is all I can do for this layer then. Well, not for this layer then, that's that part of that done for flat colour, so those 2 are now done, which means that this is what we're doing now. Okay, so how much of an overlap is that? That I'm not as worried about, because anything that I do on Imari will automatically go over the overlaps with Lydia. Because, you know, it's just... That's just how I've designed things with the folders. So we are going to go on to colouring. Derpy Foxx, the derpy drogs that everyone knows. Well, I wouldn't say everyone knows. A few people here may be familiar with, so let's just bring the references for him up to the forefront and nab from his palette. Okay, first of all, we'll just take his colour, base body stuff. That needs to be a lot bigger. Definitely on the colour layer. Yeah. Okay. What's this song? Oh, Resistance. Oh, nice. Wolfenstein song. So I've just seen I need to do a bit of an erasing job on the line art. It's slightly overlapped. Okay. So his head floof is all this colour. Because I have to be very careful with boy and his floof. Speaking of floof, there's a little bit of attached to my microphone somehow. Well, at least I've already figured out, reasons why I need to have multiple layers, even for something just as simple as the colouring. I mean, what I could do is I could do the thing I was going to do about, the space stuff. I could, basically get a layer and then overlay the colour and just go over it. I don't know, I'll see. I'll see a bit later, because at the moment I'm in with doing it sky. You'll also be happy to know that thanks to Scoo doing a short tutorial, I know now how to do vectors. I was literally looking at the exact wrong tool. So all I need is this one, I believe. Is it a linear ruler? It's not a ruler, it's this. Yeah, it's that. It's the figured tool. So I just need to use that on a vector layer. That's how I get vector drawings. So it was, as usual, me having a range moment. Okay, so that usually goes like that because his belly is a different colour to the rest of him. So that's how it's done. We'll see how that. Yeah, it's also the same colour as well. That makes things infinitely easier. Zoom in a bit more because I really want to get those thin bits with a thinner brush. What should do it? There we go, yeah. Theme tune for the Arcane TV show that I was talking about in my previous stream today. Okay, that should be fine. I'll go back up to this size brush and can zoom out a bit as well. Callie, hello and welcome, my love. Okay, so around here is where the colour changes on his arms. Because that's where the floof ends and scales begin. Christ, I've said to myself that I'd do the actual scale patterns on his arms. Why have I tortured myself so much with this? Why? Claws are also another different colour. Okay, so that's the side. That's his side, so that's meant to be red. This bit is his chest area, so that's meant to be the other scale things. What's this? That's meant to be his arm, isn't it? That's not at all meant to be part of his torso. It can't be. That cannot be meant to be his arm. No, he's like, yeah, that makes sense if his arm goes down there like that, so which means that that's not supposed to be there. Great. Always noticing mistakes and trying to correct them, because already looks better now I've made that change. Okay, so if that is his arm, then that means I need to do a line art thing actually. Get that back. It's 4 for these lines, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh crap, I got it right the first time. Okay, so that means that is more where his torso goes into his pelvis, and that means that is his lower arm. Right. That helps. That helps a lot. I don't want to do anything to sketch layer. Sketch layer's not even freaking visible right at this point in time. Okay, so a little bit there. And I realise I've actually never done what his crotch region looks like colour-wise, so that's going to be a fun little thing to find out. Okay, his lower legs are at the same time. Knees are this colour. They're going off into the scales. So I don't know what happens in my head from. I do not know in the least. Oh, good God, no, not doing the fill tool. Yeah, that'll work. It's a very... Tonight's quiet even for an art stream. That's something. Just realised that's going to be... It's going to be very difficult to do if I do that. Just so I remember, just so I remember to not miss this. Darker here. There we go, that's better. Do the same for this as well, so these bits are the dark parts. That one is as well. Go over these bits. Yeah. Dealing with the finicky stuff first. Sunny Day Part 2? I had no idea. Apparently today is the day that we listen to all the more obscure Miracle of Sound songs, or at least, you know, the stuff that isn't hugely popularised, or at least stuff I've not been listening to. I've just seen in the preview what Imari looks like when I've only done this colour on him. Oh, God. Yeah, what my brain's going through is like, it looks like he's cosplaying as the fucking Flash. Did not intend this. It will look better once I've actually got his colours in fully, but right for now, it does look a little bit like he's cosplaying the Flash. I kind of hate that. Nothing that can be done about it now. Check something. Double voices, yeah. Chest scales, chest scale definition. Okay, yeah. Good. I think that's everywhere on him that's coloured. That's that colour. Yeah, pretty much is. Pretty much that is. Everything else is now the darker fur colour or a completely different colour entirely. Also haven't put his markings in yet. The markings haven't been done, on purpose because that's a completely different colour. Okay, let's take care of his muzzle first. Oh yes, okay. Much better already. Also, let's take a bit of a airbrush effect and blend that in just now, because otherwise it will really fucking bother me. Okay. There we go. I'm supposed to be fair, seeing as I've got it selected already, I should do his chest scales. Blendy. I'm going to do these bits down here, which has been revamped, completely as his chest scales. That would just make all this bit be chest scales as well until it gets to the furry bits. In fact, actually, I think the furry crossing should like that. There we go. Blendy again. The previous song I knew. The previous song was Neon Red. That was one of his cyberpunk songs. This one again is back to I don't know. Right. Okay. So how is this done? It is done. Okay. Need to pick the definition. It's going to be 4. Then that goes like. Yeah. And that there is how we define his layered chest scales. Oh, why doesn't he? Do I have a solid background colour? I do not. I need one though. So for the moment, background. Oh, don't. There we go. There we go. It does not affect Imari's one. Now I see why, because the reference layer is there. Reference layer. Oh, God. In fairness, though, actually, I can delete this layer because I don't need it anymore. Reference layer gone. Oh. This is what we're going to do. There we go. That's all that's needed. That's all this is needed. Now if we bring Imari back into visibility and put colour there. Hey, I can see his eyes again. Did I change anything for his... No. No, his corneas are just straight up white. Okay. Doable. Yep. What should do his actual eyes whilst I'm here, whilst I'm zoomed in on them actually. We got a bit of Witcher music. No, I am not a fan of The Witcher, as many people may know. But the music for it's good. And the music that Miracle Sounds done it for it is also good. Actually, it is. Okay, now we can get rid of the background stuff. Notice also that I've missed a bit of red that I need to fill in. Just there. There we go. Horns aren't all that extensive. Jesus. Mori, hello and welcome, and thank you for making me almost shat myself whilst drawing. Well, colouring. I can't even tell if that was a bleed over on that bit. It's fine, it can be solved by just taking this and cleaning those bits up. There we go, that's better. Looks like less bleed over and more like, you know, as it should do. I'm a good colourer. I severely disagree with you. Tongue. Give the permanently blepping boy his blue tongue. Okay, that's now is onto the darker body slash scale stuff. Blendy. Fur transition. Fursition? Will a fur transition be a furzician? Or is that a furry physician? A furzician? I don't even know. Now I'm just complicating matters in my brain. Oh yeah, welcome to what I always do in life. Hey, you know, this thing, it's absolutely incredibly simple. Yeah, I know that's massively simple. Let's change that. No. Oh no. I just realised because those are sprouts of fur that originate down here, so they should be the base colour, because, you know, fur doesn't go like this naturally. That's fun. That's very fun. Take that. Do this. No, I am very much not a good colourer. I have no grasp of colour theory yet. That will change. Just not yet. Oh, it's a Journey song. Such a good game. Can't believe I avoided playing it as long as I did. But at the same time, I'm glad that I did, because it meant that I got to stream it. Share that experience with people here. It was really a lot of fun. And thank you, Kelly, for your contribution to our Game Stream Challenge. Very much appreciated. Okay, yep. We're going to do a bit of blendy. Blendy. Well, what do we need now? Oh, we need to do the Derpy Drox's markings. Thank you, Imari, for your contribution to the Wild Game Stream Challenge. Very much appreciated. Markings. Let's be thinner for this one. Actually, how does that marking go? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's going to be an issue. course, strategy. Oh my god. The ASMR voice brings out the thirst. No. You can't take a hot bath later. Oh my. Usually when people want to cool down from being hot and bothered, they take a cold shower. But Mori's like, no, fuck that shit. More. Give me more. What's this? I feel like I've done the whole perspective wrong in this. Oh, fuck. This already feels like it's really, really way below anything that I've done. I also realised that on his standing up thing, this is the only place I've put the markings on the back of his ears, because on the all fours one, they're not even there in the slightest. Penis. Penis. That was... cool. Markings. Now, okay, now for those bits of the markings, I'm just going to move the reference picture so I get a much up clearer. Up clearer, what the fuck word is up clearer? Omnias. I have no idea what Omnias is from either. One thing I do continually like about Imari is his markings. Would you actually be able to see the marking on that? Slightly. Yeah, you'd be able to slightly see the marking on his arm. And also I kind of want to put it there anyway, so yeah. Did I do the marking on his tail? Oh, did I forget that? I think I did the marking on his tail. Box. Did I do it? I did it. Okay, so that just being Imari's side of things, I think that looks pretty damn good already. I still need to, obviously, I need to do colouring things, but yeah, his side of things looks alright. So that will then go like this. 2. Oh. Twitch streamer itchy nose. Oh, fucking hell. That went completely skewed. Yeah. Okay. Says marking's taken care of. Let's go back to doing the darker body stuff. No, I don't need that palette currently. Current. I don't know what the fuck was lewd about current, but apparently my mind wanted to make it sound lewd. Let's just colour these bits in between the claws. I do not know what this game is from, but it sounds interesting already. Just from that song. I'm going to find out what that was from. Calamity, I've got no idea what Calamity's from either. That might be one of the ones that Torian actually went and found for me. I've since forgotten again. Give me 2 seconds while I just check up what Only Us was from. YouTube. It's not Miracle of Sound. Oh. I see. Only Us was a song all about Cersei and Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. Twincest. Okay, so how much? Yeah, okay, so we got about there-ish. And there. That seems about right. Okay, now if we just amp up the size of the pen a bit more, and there we go. And this is why claws are superior to fingers, because they're much easier to draw. Oh, I think this is Days Gone. I think the song is from Days Gone. Like, literally just clocked on it. I really should give that game another go. Like, all of the open world games, I really, really want to give another go at. Because I realised I threw a load of them out because I was oversaturated with open world games. So I really want to try and, dedicate myself to having at least one open world, well, no more than one open world game at the time, and I really want to give Days Gone another go, because I found out that the boss that I got past, there's a much easier way to kill him. I did not realise. And I was, basically doing things the hard way, because, what the fuck are you supposed to do against a zombie bear, honestly? The answer is, you set the fucking thing on fire with Molotov cocktails. So yeah, that's a fun thing. I have no idea what drive is. Dorian, hello and welcome. Runs and hugs everyone as I pass them. I mean, there's a fair few people lurking. I've got no issue with lurkers, by the way. None whatsoever. But chat is being quite quiet tonight. You have a lot of energy. Anxious energy. Oh, yeah, I know the kind. But for a good reason, eh? So if it's for a good reason, that's a good thing. I'm using exactly the wrong tool and the wrong colour. Now, here's the thing, I do not know. I do not know, like, I never, this has never come up, like, I do not know if the underside of his feet should be a different colour to the upper side, or whether it should just all be scale, same colour because it scales. I've never, ever come across, reason for that. Tongue colour? You really think he should have, blue on the base of his feet? I mean, I can give it a go. So if we do an imaginary line like that, actually no, it would be like that. And put those in there. I don't know why I'm using that colour. I know how toe beans are. Yeah, fair. Except he doesn't have toe beans. He's got claws and the base of his foot. I don't know why I put those bits there. I'm in the. Take the claws. Use those as that. There and there. That bit of it there, because those are, it gets coloured there, there, and there with the claws, and there, there, and there. Well, let's put that in and see how it works. Tongue. I mean, there is also. God, I just have. This tongue is a different colour, right? So I see on this a lot. I mean, there's his chest, his belly, and then his tongue. Usually the bottom of the foot is slightly different in colour. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether it should be blue like that, or I did see, and what I started giggling about is on the palette, penis colour here. So what if I did that? Sort of the base of Imari's feet is the same colour as his dick. Oh my God, there's things that I ask myself. Because, in fairness, also, the tongue colour is also the colour of his skin underneath the fur, underneath the scales. You know what they say about the colour of dragons' feet, same as their dick? What the I've never heard that before. Fine, we'll do it with that, and I'll see how it looks out afterwards. Fuck. Yeah, the ADHD is right. It's fucking hard. Oh, sorry. I realised that you mentioned the reason why you had anxious energy, and I didn't read out. Let's see. You got lots of energy, that's anxious energy, but for a good reason. I'll be staying boyfriends for a week, starting tomorrow night when he gets off work. Hey, nice. Hey, glad to hear it, Torian. Oh, we got I was just talking about open world games, and Ghost of Tsushima's theme comes on. The only thing I'm not liking about this is the angle there at which it's changed. That's... ugh. I can probably do something like that with the difference of the colour. Make it so... I don't know. That was exactly the wrong colour to actually attempt that with, wasn't it? If I do this, have it so that, I don't know, it's the lips a little curve, just, you know, a little curve because of how his shape of his foot is. Maybe that's what this needs. There we go. Go back to the pad of his foot. You know, the only other issue here is, you know, the pad of his foot looks very untextured. But, you know, I could just do it, you know, dick coloured scales. Because the problem with it is, you know, there's no texture to it. As it is, there's no texture to it. That's not a good thing. I do not know what the fuck I do skin texture either. Use a scale brush. Well, yeah, I can, but the thing is I don't know whether I should do scales for his foot or whether I should do skin. It makes sense because he's a dragon, well, dragon fox hybrid. Oh Christ, it makes sense both for them to be toe beans and for it to be scales. I'm not sure I know how to do toe beans well enough to do toe beans over scales. I find both of them. Oh well. Oh my god. Yeah. Only we could all be so lucky. Genuinely wishing the best for you, Dorian. But still at the same time, fucking hell. I think I've been losing light. Oh yeah, I know. I know, you've confirmed suspicions of mine as to what's been happening at certain times. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna call you out on stream, but yeah. I have had, you know, theories about, let's say, you know, when you've had delays in your responses. Yeah. It's exercise. Weirdly enough, when I went to first meet, when I first went over to Florida to see Callie, that is, that's what Foxx and I used to refer it to. It's like, be right back, I'm going to get late. Okay, have fun with exercise. On what's the prom collab? Yeah, I guessed from the outset there, and that, you know, just in general, you know, when I know that you're with your boyfriend and you take time to reply to something where, you know, after you've had a spate of activities, like, really sure, yeah, dicking is happening. That's 100% that was the thing. Oh yeah. I don't know who else noticed, but I sussed that out right away. Like, someone getting some dick. Sometimes I just don't look at my phone when I'm with them. Sometimes. But, you know, I'm talking about, like, you have just been replying to stuff in servers, and then you get a message, or you get messaged, or you know, someone replies to you, and then there's a delay. It's like, aha. Oh, so the Fallout 76 song. Yeah, don't. Fallout 76 is an open world game that I am definitely never going back to. Definitely. I tried to go back to that off stream after, seeing footage from parts of it. It's like, actually, that looks kind of fun. Tried to get back in, I was like, no. Even without streaming it, my brain just went, nope. Sometimes at the same time, sometimes he was out of the room, so I looked at my phone for being brought back food. So it's either you're either pausing in your replies to conduct sexy times, or the replies have happened in post sexy times, waiting for refreshments. See, part of me wants to blend that line, but at the same time, it shouldn't be, because it is a hard line between his foot scales and his thing. Like, I still don't know what it needs to be. Christ. I've also realised I've coloured it the wrong way. I've coloured this the wrong way around. I've bent the foot the wrong way around colour-wise. It needs to be more like that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I did try. I did try Fallout 76 again, and it's just terrible. The game is just, it's a chore to even load up and play and get your mind into. Even without, annoying stuff going on, it's just a chore. It really is. So yeah, in my list of games, open world games to go back to, Fallout 76 is not on them at all. Sorry to hear that, Imari. Silver and Steel. Oh, that's another Witcher one. Check out music. Oh my god. At this point in time, Torian has hit on almost every single regular member of chat who's identified, they're up for that kind of thing. I'm honestly surprised. I am honestly surprised they have not hit on Callie yet. Or if they have, I have not been paying attention when it happened. Oh, you want a brassy cat, huh? Well, at least, Maury, you're honest with the fact that you're a brassy cat. Or in your own self-identification and all. Because I know you're with Callie and she's basically my sister-in-law's point. That's fair. Don't be fine if I'm there, Maury. She's not talking about Dom, she's talking about herself. Doesn't Brass imply bottom? This is what I've been saying this entire time. Right, okay, the last bit of the base colouring is claws. Was it that? That is not what I wanted to do. That, oh god. It's all skewed itself. Oh. No, you're with Scoot. Oh, you're with Scoot at the moment. Right, okay. I thought you meant... I honestly thought you meant in general, Mari. Honestly thought you meant in general. We're untamable. Keep telling yourself that. Just sounds like a challenge to certain interested parties. I do want to do Brat as well. Oh my god. God. I'm going to skip this track mostly because it sounds like a Slipknot song. I don't want the MCA to get confused. This works. London Town. Well, should you call up Jason Malcolm? Yeah, that would equal as, not having a chat full of brats and bottoms. Josie, my lovely burb. We haven't been able to Josie. I've been talking. No, they have been going at it in chat essentially. Like, not even essentially. They just have been really have been full on flirting at each other. It's been kind of hilarious to watch. Well, it's mostly been hilarious to watch Torian get completely broken. Hello and welcome. Are you okay, Q? You've only gone, sad, happy, sad, love, wink, smile, sad. Q, do I need to install blink twice if you're okay? Josie's a flirt. Josie does very much as a flirt. Josie, the thing is though, Josie actually said that they refuse to flirt with me because they are convinced that I will out-flirt them and they won't know what to do. And I count that as an extreme victory. There, but yeah, the blue screen is it's not hard to do. No, not really. It's really not. I mean, what caused you to get blue screened first, Torian, was that it happened, Josie flirted back. That's what was your initial blue screen. I got breaking cute MBs and girls is fun. No one's done that to me. That was a fun thing. I remain unbrokened. So Q's got crying Binding of Isaac, scared. So that face, the bald guy, he looks almost exactly like another streamer I watch. Tear of Grace. Looks almost exactly like him. It's not him, but it looks so much like him. Put right buttons, and then Q's gone snake eating sad face, or that could be Pog sad face. I don't know, but it looks like Snake trying to devour a sad person. Q, are you okay? Always roughing my toys like that one time. I broke a vibe in myself. Good thing I'm not your tie. You don't want to break in there. It'd be shitty. Oh god. That just reminds me of the insult that I've used. The insult that I've used, shove a broom handle up your ass and snap it off. Oh, you were stuck in emote only. Oh. I'm guessing you refreshed and I got you back in. Oh, thank you for reminding me to save, Kelly. And we'll check my posture, thank you very much. God. I also want me to check the layer. If I've been on the wrong layer this entire time, I will scream. No, I can see. Yep, right here. It is slightly hidden, honestly, by the thing. So I'll just drag this over. See, select the layer, color. We're on the right layer. I've saved. I've straightened my posture up while still being able to whisper lewd nothings into the microphone. And what else did you redeem? Oh, you also redeemed a hydration. I will take that now. Thank you very much. Oh God. Full. I went to fill it up before stream. Hello, groceries and spaghetti's done. Ooh, spaghetti. I had ramen before stream. Had extremely spicy ramen. In fact, I had ramen that I mentioned to Scoo and Torian that was essentially just meat in a pot. It said big gourmet spicy. Like, yeah, that's just me. That's just me. I'm big gourmet and spicy. Oh God. Now in the process of cutting all the pictures out of my colouring books so they wear this. Oh, right, yeah. Goodbye Black Ops is a Call of Duty song. It is a Call of Duty song. Literally, I've played one Black Ops game, and it's Black Ops 3. Yeah, it's Black Ops 3. And weirdly, I always say that I do not like Treyarch games. I just don't, and I do not like the Black Ops series because I just never got into them. But weird enough, Black Ops 3 is essentially the same sort of premise and setting as Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And weirdly enough, I actually preferred Black Ops 3. Mostly because of what you could do was, changing your layout or your loadout before the mission. So basically, you going into a mission with weapons you were familiar with, and you could always, know that you were counting on a weapon that was good. Whereas Advanced Warfare was basically starting off with a different weapon or so every mission, and it was very much like, I don't know how to fucking use this. This is not a thing. I'm trying to stay in between the lines when you're like, no one's going to look at. I'm not going to be showing anyone finally what it looks like when you take the line art away, because that the final picture is not going to lie, because that looks fucking hilarious and horrifying. that is the face that Imari makes when someone gives him surprise butt sex. Oh my God. So Shriek is not yes, she has. I mean, it's also, in fairness, that's also his blue screen face. There's also very much that was a blue screen what happened face. The trauma. Ooh. Is it trauma or is it surprise anal? Well, little from column A, little from column butt sex. Oh my God, there we go. Now we've got his, his trademark smirk on there as well. Like, I don't know why, but any time I tried to make Imari look, happier than he usually does, and it still came out as his trademark smirk. I do not know how this has happened. So just for the last bits, I need to. City of Dreams, more cyberpunk music. I was actually saying to Foxx earlier that whilst I was playing I'm going to cringe myself at mentioning what the genre is, a boomer shooter called Ion Fury, which is essentially they took Duke Nukem 3D. They took the engine from that called the Build Engine, and basically they made it on this, and it very much is a sort of it's a female protagonist led game that very much is similar to Duke Nukem, but it has clear inspiration from Doom, Blood, and a load of other shooters around that time, and it very much is unashamed about saying this is what we're inspired by, and it's really, really, really good. But as I was going through it, it's got an incredibly cyberpunk theme to it. I mentioned to Fox that you give me a good cyberpunk game and I will lose myself in it. And then I was like, I would really love if they made a Shadowrun game, a first-person Shadowrun game that wasn't that bollocks of the multiplayer only one that's just absolute shite. The very first game that they ever did for crossplay between PC and a console, but it was only the Xbox 360 crossplay with the PC, and there was a massive skill difference between Xbox and PC, mainly because PC could run and process things much faster than the Xbox 360 could. So yeah, that's a little bit of interesting history to see. But I would just love a first-person shooter game, a really good one, similar to how Cyberpunk turned out eventually, but done in the Shadowrun universe. Because in fairness, the main things that are different between Cyberpunk and Shadowrun is that Shadowrun is focused on racial disparity because they've got the different races in there, the metahumans, and use magic. Whereas Cyberpunk is more focused mostly on the dystopia and the humanity aspect of things, because how much cyber modification can you go with before you lose your humanity? Basically, is what they were going for. But yeah, so that's what that was. Also, it reminds me that there exists a cyberpunk shooter that I do really like, which was absolutely not received at all well, not in the least. In fact, actually, I do think I have it. A few things, excuse. But yes, I do. So this game I'm about to show. This game absolutely bombed, and very few people liked it. I was one of the people who adored it. Syndicate. This game really got me into modern shooters done in cyberpunk style, because this game is it's a cyberpunk shooter, and it is done so very well. Because you play from the viewpoint of something that's not often explored. Oh god, wrong one. I talk about cyberpunk and we get a Deus Ex song. It shows a viewpoint that's not very often explored in cyberpunk. Is you start off as an enforcer for the corporations, for the megacorps that rule the world essentially, and things happen story-wise to change things, but you'd see what that side of things is like, and it's really, really good because it's something that's not often explored. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and a lot of people hated it. A lot of people thought it was the worst thing that was ever made, but I really enjoyed it. So here's what I'm going to try and do here. Think your boyfriend gets along well, Mark? He's always going about Shadowrun or to second edition D&D. See, so Shadowrun for me, I'm less knowledgeable about the rules. I know more about the setting, because I've never actually played a tabletop Shadowrun game. However, I have played the Mega Drive version, the SNES version. I did play the Xbox 360 version briefly, and I own the Shadowrun trilogy on PC, and I've finished the first one and just gotten into the second one. I also started playing the third one, but then I realised that I started playing the third one, which I think is Shadowrun Hong Kong. Can't remember what the first one is, but it's Shadowrun whatever it's called, then Dragonfall, then Hong Kong. I started playing Shadowrun Hong Kong a little bit, and then I realised there were two games that preceded it. And while it says you don't need to play them in order, I thought I'm going to. So I abandoned my process in Hong Kong, played the first one, finished the first one, and then I realised, shortly after, towards the end of it, that the first Shadowrun game is actually based on a Shadowrun campaign book that you can get. And I just really, really like that. Okay, so that works. Okay, that works. Now I'm going to go onto the palette and do a bigger one there. God, it's a lot bigger than that. A lot bigger than that still. Didn't I do it like, as an absolutely massive one? Massive one. Yes. That's in. Then I need to put that as a pencil. If anyone was ever curious as to what my handwriting looks like, you're looking at it. It's fucking awful. I can barely read it half the time. No, that's just black. Grab that. Go back over to here and reduce this. Also need to play a second edition game. I'm like, but I don't want a new system. That is wholly fair. D&D D&D second edition, or as I believe it's called sometimes, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, is not a great system, and it's real fucking complex. The worst thing for me than that is Pathfinder. I cannot stand Pathfinder. Pathfinder is, to me, Pathfinder and D&D 3.5 is literally 100%, hey, how broken can we make characters? It's like, I don't really want to make broken characters. It feels wrong. It feels, not... I don't know, it just feels like, not doing things right. I've also realised that this... I don't know. But yeah. Pathfinder is literally for people who want to break a character and have an absolute godlike power level. If that's what you're into and that's what you want to play, then yeah, sure, feel free, go for it, have fun. But it's not for me. It is not for me in the least. I've also tried offshoots of 3.5. I tried what's it called? I've tried the D20 system. It's just called D20. Nightmare to navigate for me. I was like, no, just can't. I just can't at this point. Shadow of the Ash. See, that actually doesn't look all that bad. Now that I've put that texture in, the defining scales, like the same way as chest scales, it actually doesn't look all that bad. It does make me realise that I'm going to have to do the scale definition on the lower legs and the arm as well. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, scaly dragon penis. But on one hand, at the very least, if I zoom out now and close this and do top and top. There we are. There is the basis of what this is going to look like by the time it's finished. I still have to do shading and more detail and background. We're going to be here for a while. That's what we're looking at the moment. If I just pull this in as well, because yeah, so we've got a very rudimentary thing for the background. But it does mean that I can go onto this. We can now delete the temporary background layer. There. So over that, we now have that. I've gotten rid of the reference as well. So there is a preview of what it's going to look like when it's done. I just need to do shading. I also need to do more textures on the fucking scales. I don't know if I have the energy for that tonight. I really don't. Well, I just realised something. His muzzle's not coloured correctly. Like that, like that, like that. Go on to you, go to colour. That. What size do we have here? Okay, so there. At the very least, I am happy with how that's turned out. So, hi Lydia. Imari's pretty much done. Hi Imari. Lydia's done. Just I need to do the effect. Oh, I need to do the glowing effects, which means putting stuff onto different layers. Oh, tits. I need to put in more layers. I need to put in more layers and I need to copy things over. It would actually. Oh, I don't need to do as much things as I think I do. No, I don't. I do not. I don't need to go over all the starry bits. I just need to use that as the base layer and then put more layers in front for the things I want to glow. And you put 3 layers in. 3 layers in for the line itself, then first glow, second glow. This is what we're going to do. I think I've added way too many. Yep. Not way too many. I've added 1 too many. So shading goes up there. So first of all, that is glow detail base. Underglow 1. Underglow 2. No problem, Tyrion. You go right ahead for it. Go right ahead for it. So I'll have. We're good. Feels really nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can take no credit for it. I can take absolutely no credit for any of this color-wise, because the colors there are all from Lydia's reference sheet, and the colors all for Imari's side is from Scoot's drawing and imagining of Imari. So I've done none of the color. The only color stuff I've done has literally been coming up with what color his dick would be, and I changed the colour of his tongue, and we decided on stream what the colour of the base of his feet would look like. That is where things are. That is where we're all at the moment. Oh, I just realised something. I don't know. That looks like a line art thing to change. Line art and an eraser. That's a bit too angular. That's definitely way too angular. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so glow detail base. So we're going to be working on this layer. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over the things that need to glow. And this is going to be real tough. This is going to be real tough to actually manage. Because I think that actually looks like that's done in 4. Right, okay, so I love this song. I really, really do. Thing is, though, if I do this, you can see it because it's over the color layer. And so if I hide the color layer, doesn't make a fucking thing. Oh, bollocks. I just need to hope now. What's on the white background? I shouldn't have gotten rid of my temporary background thing. I really shouldn't have done. And this song also is from Dark Souls. Wow. It's a meme song for Dark Souls, but you know, it still gets the point across.
Your journey, it began because you died. Out of your cell you ran and then you died. You paused to catch your breath and die another gruesome death, so now you creep around each corner terrified. Humanity restored and then you died. A graveyard to explore, haha, denied.
Oh god, that's too. No, it's not. I think I was doing it. I thought I was doing this in 4, but no, I'm not. Right, okay, so that's those bits. I also need to do... Not that one. I need to grab this colour as well. So those bits, no. These bits, yes. Although now, actually, looking at... But down there, but the bits around the diary bits, yes. Yeah. The rest of it is just metal. Oh, and hello and welcome. Here's a 10 up. I'm waking up working for a nighttime stream. Oh shit, that's good. It's been a while since you've been able to catch one of these ones. What are you drawing? I am drawing a picture of myself and one of our chat members, Lydia, example. Lydia. Our OCs sitting together. I will show you what the full progress so far in just a second. I'm just having to go over a bit because I had an idea that requires extreme amounts of fixing in order to actually bring up to snuff. Okay, that's good. Right, so if I just zoom out. So what we are looking at overall is currently that, and yeah, it's gonna have a background as well when I get to that. But yeah, that is the total process so far. Oh, should I have just seen that? Yeah, that's what we're looking at the moment. And we are... which one are we on now? We're on glow detail base. That's good, at least, we got that. Let's fill that in a little bit more. Let's swing by. Oh, Spider-Man. Of course. Okay, let's bring the colour back on. The Foxx battle, partially done current figure. I am the one with the wings. He's a Drox, which is a hybrid between Fox and Dragon. And this one's Lydia, our resident protogen, who's also a bat, so I call her Proto Bat. I would say this is a welcome challenge for me, because not having drawn a protogen before, but then again I've not drawn anything properly before, so this entire picture is just a challenge for me. It's a welcome one. It helps me improve my skill. At the very least, actually, what I can do is if I take the colour away, I've already got lines with which to colour in. Oh. Thank you very much for all of your contributions to the One-Off Game Stream Challenge. We're now at... I'm guessing that's... 90%? 95%? No, it's complete. So thank you to Torian for adding that, and also thank you to Q for finishing the challenge. We are going to... we are now going to have a one-off game stream challenge. A one-off game stream challenge. Why is it that lately the indie streams, all the one-off game streams, have been trying to have been essentially stopping me from getting further in Skyrim? Like, I don't mind. I am very thankful for any excuse I have to not play Skyrim, but at the same time, I do want to get. I want to get it, done and out of the way so I can go back to playing fucking Cyberpunk. You indeed do spy on Protogen, Mori. You indeed spy a Protogen who looks like that. Excuse me, that would be Lydia, our resident Protobat. Absolutely wonderful individual, as I'm sure anyone who's interacted with her will agree. Becoming books counterparts, very nice story. Right. So, right, I'm just gonna. Screw it. We'll just go over here for a moment, and we'll decide what the one-off game is going to be here and now, because I can. Let me just get the notes up. Off game stream change. Yep. I could have sworn I got rid of that. Off the previous one. Bye bye, I'm not playing that. Yeah, everything else there looks completely fine to me. Yeah. I mean, there's one that I've been playing a few times there, but it still counts. I've been my dragon mostly. Oh, Sour Redeemer, there we go. I will break ASMR for doing that, because no one wants to be hearing me, in pain and shouting, not in pain, but, suffering and, calling out or God knows kind of thing where I'm going to be loud whilst I'm doing this. So I will set up this first, and because there's a lot of them, actually, we'll just do a wheel decide. A wheel decide will be fine. Let me just bring that up, because otherwise I will not remember. I don't need to go to a previously done one because I'm not bringing things up. Browse wheels. Is it advanced options? No, it's a paste list. Choices, bumper line this box. Replace choices, all current choices were replaced by these. Add. Okay, that is... Oh, I need to actually apply wheel changes. Okay, now if I do this... Is it going to move? Oh, actually, that's not too bad. Okay, so there's the wheel of all the choices for the one-off game stream challenge. And so let's just spin the wheel. See what we're going to come up with. Well, I would say are people happy with that in chat, but I'm pretty sure that the chat will get overtaken by Imari screaming yes. But yeah, unless people voice a overwhelming objection to Unsighted. Unsighted is what I'm going to be playing tomorrow. I've seen it being played. I've seen Mori stream it a lot. Mori adores it. Mori was recommending for ages that I get it. I finally found it on sale on PlayStation, so I've got it. It's actually still installed on my PS4, PS5. Sorry. So yeah. Unless people say, you know, I really don't want that, then we will go forward with Unsighted. Whilst you are deciding that, I will just move. The microphone has moved away and now out of ASM Malcar mode. For the hour. I'm not noticing anyone. Well, I'd say I'm not noticing anyone say no just yet, but there is stream delay to compensate for, so you never know. Don't want to do another Apple one, I really don't. After last time. There we are. No overwhelming negativity or towards Unsighted. If you don't know what Unsighted is, that's fine. You'll see it on the day. But if you know what it is and you don't want Unsighted, then you know we'll. Or if you know, even if you don't want it, you don't want, and you want Unsighted, you know, I'll spin it again. But Unsighted looks like what we're going to be going for. I'm still in ASMR mode vocally. I've gotten into the habit. But actually, I should hide. I'll hide the wheel, just so you can, you know, and also bring Spotify up so I can pause this because I think this is probably best experienced with just me. To myself. Oh my god, I feel like I've just ingested 80,000 petrified Satan's arse hairs. Oh my fuck. Oh. 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 Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Why do I even buy them? Because of that. I got them initially, or I think Tori might have got them for me initially, to test them out because I've got a very high sour tolerance. As much as my reactions here would make you think otherwise, I do have a very high sour tolerance. Not to the level of, you know, Foxx and Torian, who absolutely cannot, you know, taste sour whatsoever. But yeah. But I thought, you know, it's been around a year or so since I last had them, so I might as well, you know, bring them back. I had the money to. I've got even more. I've got apparently even more sour ones on the way as well, called Black Death. I only bought a small packet of those. It was a small one, so we'll see how that one goes. They're stronger than the set you had last year? No. No, it's not. It's not so much anyway they're stronger. They are the same ones. It's just that I'm picking from a variety pot. So I'm experiencing flavours I didn't get to experience beforehand. So some of these are a lot stronger than others. The apple ones of these, oh my fucking god, the apple ones. Oh. What's worse is people have seen me on the apple ones of these. And that's a whole jar of just apple. But then, I also got the nuclear option. They don't look much different from the apple one, I assure you, but blue. Those are blue ones. That is... I can't even see the label because of the lighting. Sour raspberry. Those are nasty. Those are really strong. Those are the strongest ones yet. Lydia and I both agree those are the strongest ones. Q's not the best with sour. It's like sour Skittles are somewhat sour to you. Oh. You're going to have a lot of fun with what I'm sending to you and Jace then. Because you're getting sample packs of this. You're getting sample packs of these. I'm going to hope that I get to see Jace try one on stream and see their reaction to it. That is going to be absolutely amazing. And I want to see if Q will try one as well. Just in the background, I probably will hear screaming. Don't think fun is the right term. Fun is exactly 100% the right term. Oh, and thank you for the hydration, Monica. Oh, God. Now, also before I forget, bear with me. The stream's about to get a bit choppy. I'm going to go set to another stream challenge. I don't know what it's actually going to be because that one got done faster than I thought it was. I'm not going to put up in for another drunk stream because the drunk stream one that has been there is most likely, if it does go, if it's going ahead, should be going ahead next Saturday, as in the 17th, not 17th, the 18th. Should be happening the 18th, because that will be me having the all clear of recovery. I'll have had the 6 weeks recovery, and we will have alcohol in. And we'll get that done, and then I'll start up for another drunk stream with a higher point limit. So I will need to make a new challenge. I don't know what to make. Great, we'll do another SCP challenge. So bear with me whilst I load up Twitch and the stream gets choppy. Matt with Spencer, who live at Sour, deems a two-person stream very concrete. 3. It's 3 with a 20-minute timer between them. But yeah, you are correct. Yes, I do severely limit them. Because I've had instances, with these ones, I've eaten too many, and it, and when I say too many, I mean I was eating a lot of them. It got to the point where the inside of my mouth was actually hurting and the skin was flaking away slightly, and I was like, okay, no more sours for a bit. We're not going to get to that stage again because I've got the limiters in place, but still, it happened, and it's something I'm keeping an eye on. And if it starts happening, I'm going to turn the sours off for a bit and let my mouth recover. But yeah. Anyway, Twitch choppiness starting in 3, 2, 1. Maybe, I don't know. Well, it says I've got the error encoding overloaded, so yeah, it's probably started now. Bear with me 2 seconds. Go to channel points. We are going to have to mark the one-off games challenge as complete because I've selected one. Archive challenge, add a new one. CP stream. Complete this challenge, and Malk will read SCPs of chat's choice. Excuse me. Goal amount. Give you a slightly higher target, shall we? Oh, good God, no, that's too much. Sorry, I almost gave you a goal of 700,000 points rather than 70. Like, I would need 12 people to contribute the maximum every single day to reach 700,000. Which it's 70,000. It's going to be 70,000. Now, give me 2 seconds as well whilst it updates the images or uploads them. Apparently, according to OBS, the stream should no longer be lagging. We'll see how true that is. Create. And start challenge, yes, and there we go. Right, so the SCP stream challenge has now been started. So let's just make some conditions. There we go. We do love you, Mac, but I'm not sure we love you to that extent. Oh, right, yeah, 700,000, yeah. 12 viewers every single, 12 contributions of maximum every single day. I don't think I even have those kind of numbers coming in, so that would not work. I mean, unless, I kept extending it, but, still, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Just, put it down there. And let's actually return to the art screen. It would help. Okay. Right, so now I'll move this back into place. ASMR mode. Yeah. Resumed. Resume the music. And also, because I've still got this open, I'm going to look up that tutorial that I have. Thank you immediately for the 2,000 contribution to the SCP stream challenge. Very much appreciated. I'm not rich, and if anyone is, I could point them to the guillotine. Also, the guillotine. Gotta say it right. Gotta say it right. The guillotine. I like this song. This song is from Infamous Second Son. It's a very, very good game. Works. No, it's not in works. Some guides. I have got a full tree of folders and subfolders for my art stuff, and I keep getting lost in them. But this one is called, I know this one is called Electricity. So I just found, there we are, Electricity. So what have we got? There we are. Electricity tutorial. This is what I'm wanting. First use dark background, it's irrelevant. With a white pencil, draw the lines, done that, yep. Try different shapes, yep. On a layer under the lines, draw with an airbrush or lower the flow and opacity of your current brush. Everything's perfect, okay, right, yeah. On a layer under your first go, add a bit of colour. It must be more large and diffuse than the previous layer. Use a soft light or overlay blending mode. Okay, that seems simple enough. Right, so we will do this, and now, yeah. Right, so if I use an airbrush, well, airbrush it. I want low density, don't I? Yeah, I definitely want low density. Also want it to be a little bit bigger than that, I think. So 7, maybe give it a 10. Yeah, this is working. That's looking really good, actually. You know what? Kiss me with itchy eyebrows. Joke's on you, I already have those. And that one, and this also as well. Sharky, hello and welcome. Been so sick today, but hey, look at that, it's looking good. Thank you very much, Sharky. I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling the best. Hope you start feeling better soon. Cool glow, thank you. I've just realised the line art needs to be under this. So this stuff needs to be going on top, you know, over the line art, because it needs to be over the lines. Which means the glow detail stuff actually needs to be on the very top. So detail, underglow 1, underglow 2, there. So now that is over the top of lines, which it needs to be, because that's how light works. Okay, so that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. I need to change the colour now. I need to take this one, go back here, take this up. That's going to be way too big. Hey. Come on, the shepherd. Love the song. This one looks a bit too thick. A bit too thick already. Actually, yeah, well, I'm going to drop the density down some more. There we are. I see that actually looks all right, because you know it basically says on the been using the wrong underglow layer, but okay, it doesn't matter. It does say that on the second underglow layer that you're supposed to use you know, different colours because of, you know, how lightning looks, because it's a lightning tutorial I'm looking at, not a glowing tutorial. But I did look around it, it's like that could still work. I don't think I need to do the different colours for, you know, the different types of lightning on this. I think that glow is actually okay as is. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. So I just had to check something on my phone. Okay, right. Yeah, good. Right, now. Remove that. Yeah, I don't need the glowing tutorial anymore. I don't need to be zoomed in on Imari's face anymore. You know, as cute as his face is, I don't need to be zoomed on it anymore. This bit so you can fix light in the bedroom. Oh, we were both working on, you know, light-related stuff. That actually looks like Lydia is done for now. Although, that's actually a point. No, that is definitely floof. Like the pink stuff, the pinky purpley stuff is definitely floof. So, you know, I've actually got to make that look like floof because it doesn't, you know, at present, in my mind, it might not look it to other people, but in my mind, it looks like I have got basically just wearing your fuzzy top stockings. Right, focus. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but we will fix it. Go into colour and do some erasing. Why am I doing erasing on the colour layer? Especially when it overlaps with another colour. Just going to do this. Do that. It's meant to be there. There. But yeah, these bits honestly look like, you know, they are supposed to be fur. It's just the way that I've done them because there's no texture in them. They just look a little, I don't know, a little bland to me. This bit doesn't look right. I'm noticing all these different things now, so I just do that with the line art as well. Either way, I don't know. I think it's because the ref that Lydia has and of Protogen's, like, you know, not. It's fine, it should be fine. Should be fine, I shouldn't need to do random rogue fluff. It's, you know, it is clear that that's what that is. It's fine. Don't mind the chunk that's just missing out of Lydia's lower hips. Just don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. That's intentional. Like, it sounds like it's not, but it is. It is intentional because, you know, there, Imari's tail has to go in that spot. I think actually that is. There. It's fine. I've got to do scales. I've got to do scales on Imari. Fucking hell. I've got to do scales on these bits, on his arms and his legs there. And then I've got to do shading and highlighting. Let's do. You know what? I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in just a sec. I'll leave the music up. I return. Dicks. Thank you, Torian, for the hydration reminder whilst I was away. Take that now. Callie, you're clean. Only in body, my love. Only in body. You'll never be clean of thought or soul whilst you're with me. Somehow I don't think that you're actually complaining about that. And thank you, Callie, also for the contribution to the SCP Stream Challenge. I could do an announcement for tomorrow's stream about it, being the One Off Game Stream Challenge. Yeah. It's not going to make much difference if I do it in 45 minutes or if I do it now. Right, let's get back to this. So mark the hydration has been complete. There we go. No Lydia. You know what? We're going to experiment with things scale-wise on Imari's tail because it's almost entirely scaled. Almost. Let's go on line art as well because this is how the scales go. Wrong way around. There we go. There we are. Okay, so that's a bit bold, I think. Might work though. So I don't know. I do not know, honestly, how to do the scales on the tail. Sharky somehow ends up with the trumps. Sharky, that is, in my mind, that is your permanent state, honestly. Keep almost trumping itself. Yeah, no, that is still my impression. That's just your default state. Yeah, you even agree with that. So anyway, scale wise, I think either could do something like that, and like that, and then just continue like this down the tail. As like that sort of thing. That's one option. Or we can do something more similar to There. Like... Well, which do you lot think gives the, actually, you know what? I'm going to do A, B. I'm going to run a poll. You lot get to decide for me. There you go, 2-minute poll is up. What scales look better, A or B? Do not go on for how it looked, whether ease of drawing or anything. What scales do you think look better? I'm happy to draw either kind. What is it? Oh, we have a vote. We have votes. Oh, votes are coming in. Oh, that's all heavily weighted towards B. I mean, A is similar to the way in which I did the scales on the bottom of his feet, which I think worked for the bottom of the feet. But if you're saying that B works better for a more individual feel to the scales for the rest of him, then so be it. I am going to curse myself for the rest of the day for thinking of putting his individual scales all over every scaled part of him. But my good God, I'm actually tempted. Actually, know what I will do. I am going to make a new layer. I'm going to make a new layer, and that layer is going to be called just scales. And his scales are going to look... I'm going to do the entire scale thing on that scale layer. So basically, if I finish with the scales, I zoom out and it looks like absolute fucking garbage. I can just press one button, hide a layer, and then no one ever needs to know. Or delete the layer, seeing how I'm feeling. Yeah. There we are. Unanimous vote comes in for B. Style B looks better. I mean, in fairness, yes. The second one... Looking at it now, the second one looks a lot more like reptile / lizard / dragon scales. The top one looks more like fish scales. Imari may be a hybrid, but he's not fish. He's got no fish in him. Let's just bring these things back up. Okay, so now go back to the erasing tool and get a bit of a bigger one. Bigger one. Not too strong in this though, as not experienced in art. It doesn't matter, if you're experienced in art or not. It was literally, what do you think looks better? And the less experience you have with art, honestly, the better, because then you're not looking at something, from the artist's perspective of, does it work in X, Y, or Z? You are looking at, at the view from. Essentially as if when I finally get around to opening up commissions and doing that, you'll be looking at them from the point of view of someone who would be buying a commission. So it is incredibly valuable to have that input. Okay, now let's go back with the why not push to fill some of these gaps I got actually taken off. There we go. Okay, good there. There we are. Right, now for the I'll do each individual one. So layer 1. Scales. I will do one in the Imari folder as well. Scales. And hopefully I will remember what the fuck it's supposed to be referencing. Hopefully. Was I doing? No, I was not doing them that thick. Definitely not. It's 3, too thick. 2. Still seems a bit too thick, but 2 seems like it was right. This also means that I can... Each scale is individual, it's varied. And if I really wanted to, if I really felt super adventurous, I could even go in and, add, different colours to certain ones. I'm not going to even think about what I just said that I would involve myself in there. I'm just going to, say, my brain came up with an idea and I'm not so sure the rest of me was convinced it thought it through. First of all, let's see how that actually looks. That actually does not look too bad. It's definitely got a scaled look to it. And it doesn't look... So the problem is when you do too much scale work in once, it's very much... It can look very cartoony if you're not careful. That does not look cartoony to me, so... Hopefully I've done it right. I think I was on 80 for that. No. Yeah, I was on 90. This song, incidentally, is from The Evil Within. And I played that once. I still own it because it's, a digital game. What was it? Actually, I might have gotten it physical. I don't know. But I played it on stream once, above a Spooky Sunday, and it was so bad. It was so laggy. It was choppy. Couldn't tell what was going on a lot of the time. And the gameplay was just so bad. And the thing, like, the only way to permanently kill an enemy is to either, shoot its head in a certain way so it blows up, or you set fire to the body. And the only way you can do that is if you have matches. You start the game off by being able to carry 5 matches and no more. So, I'm sorry, what? And you have to go through this upgrade system to upgrade your inventory to be able to carry more matches. Like, I'm sorry, but who in their right mind can't carry more than 5 matches? That's just, it just made no sense to me. It was one of those systems that they are artificially inflating the difficulty of the enemies by doing these kind of things, which does not surprise me, considering it's made by some of the ex-Resident Evil developers. And, I've watched someone play the entire game, so I know what happens in the game. I've seen, the future things that happen, and I already know I would not like it. And, then I saw, I heard so much stuff about, The Evil Within 2 is better in almost every single way. So I watched someone and play that. That's even worse for me, because it's an open world version of Evil Within. It's like, oh god, no. Oh, no thanks. And now we're on to a Hades song, and Hades is amazing. I've seen matches the size of medieval torches. Yeah, if that was the kind, yeah. But no, when you use them, he brings it out, and it is just a normal match. He strikes against something, drops it on a corpse, and the corpse immediately completely immolates when you're doing that. Like, the way that it's done is basically it seems like they did the whole thing here with building up the world, doing all the graphical stuff, all that kind of stuff, and the story and all that, and they had all that in place, and then some dickhead from the publisher came along and said, no, you need to make the combat harder, make it so that those enemies can't be killed unless you do a certain thing to them. You should put that in. That'll appeal more to the hardcore gamers out there. It's like, why? And as Callie comes in, bodies don't burn like that. No, they do not. Human bodies don't burn that easily, hence why, when they cremate you, they put you in an oven which is ridiculously hot and intense flames, because the human body is full of a lot of fluid, which, hey, fire safety 101, fluids tend not to burn, unless there's certain ones, but a lot of the fluids in the body don't burn. So yes, you cannot just take a single small match out, ignite it, drop it on a body, and it just goes whoomph, as if it's covered in fucking gasoline. Such petrol. Even then, it's not how things burn. It's just, it honestly feels like someone had a really, really good concept for a horror game, and then someone came in and ruined it and wanted it to be more action oriented. Or to be fair, it could be the dev studio thinking, this is what people want. It's like, at the same time, it is A, very much detached from the concept of the game, but B, also very much a Resident Evil thing to do, because Resident Evil from the very beginning has been on harder difficulties. Enemies take more damage and you have fewer bullets. Like, that's not how you do difficulty. That is a really bad way of doing difficulty. What you do to make something harder, enemy-wise, is you have more enemies. You have them be tankier. You give the player maybe some extra resources to compensate for that, or you make it skill-based. You make them do more damage. You make their attacks go faster. You do something that involves skill, not starving the players of resources. That is not difficulty, that's artificial difficulty. I have it. The chemical combination on the match is toxic to inhale beyond a certain amount, and you build tolerance to it. If you see the main character in that, he is just an average Joe who's like, I don't know. He's got more survival ability than Lara Croft. The guy takes a chainsaw to the back and walks it off. Yes, granted, he's limping for part of it, but he does take a chainsaw to the back and manages to walk it off without bleeding out. That's spine damage at the very least. You ain't fucking moving after that. Not to mention, the shock. I like this song. I do not know what it's about, but I know I like the song. And it's called Motor Girl. It could be a fan bit of music to Tank Girl. It could also have nothing to do with it whatsoever. Oh, screw it. I'm gonna have to check on YouTube because it's really can't bring me now. Yeah. Miracle of. This will actually show what it is. It seems to just be a original work. seems to be in the original work. Oh, and Calamity earlier, it's Bastion. I remember that coming up last week as well, because, you know, or maybe the week before, but I listened to it, really liked it, and then, you know, people went and saw it and went on a mini tirade of how much I like Bastion. And that's on the stream queue. This is clean out, doesn't look it though. But there's no trash there. There's a big difference between a cluttered desk and a dirty desk. Cluttered desk, meh. Most gamers have those. I know, I freaking have that. But the thing is, none of what's on my desk cluttering it up, none of it is actually rubbish. Nothing of it is, you know, to be thrown away. It all has a purpose. It's all useful. It's all there for a reason. It's just I've got next to no room for anything else anymore. Also both. I don't think I actually have... No, I don't really have a room to make this desk dirty. That's the thing. My desk is so cluttered, as people may have seen in the pictures, that there's just nowhere to actually do it. Ocean Hotel. I do not know what Ocean Hotel is. Ocean Hotel sounds like it could be a Bioshock song, but I'm very certain it's not Bioshock. Mainly because of the number of times I have looked for Bioshock songs, and that has never come up. I just kept throwing stuff on top of stuff. I was just looking for something, so I had to clean up. Yeah, I know that. I know that thing wholly. 100%. This is starting to look a bit more like a grid. I don't like it. Just have to destroy that. Because, yeah, that just started looking like a grid to me rather than scale pattern. Just, ugh. Although, in fairness, actually, let's see, have a look at how that appendage looks fully scaled up. That's not too bad. It looks a bit like, oh god, now my brain's saying that looks just like he's wearing a tail stocking. Oh, this was a mistake. The fact that I was making it into a grid pattern now, it's, to me, looks like a stocking, is kind of telling me that I should probably call it there. So, yeah. So, save. And what I'll do is I will hide the scales, show these, and I'll do an export so that I can update Lydia on what it looks like. Yes. There's a side table recently, and as I was pleased to find 2 long packs of batteries, thought bought an off ages ago. Very handy, particularly when you recently arrived Kickstarter board game Return to Dark Tower. Oh, nice. Can't find what game this would be from. Let me have a look. Show you. That's been done. I've done the export. I've done the thing. Has it not been saved? Do you want to confirm your change of forkwits? Yes, confirm those. I did save it, but okay, save it again. Oh, I didn't save it in there. Okay, save. Yes, second. That's changed. Awesome. Awesome. Where's this not here? Holy fair. Holy fair. Just close that down. Close that down. Close that down. Let's have a look on. Let's get YouTube up. That was Ocean Hotel. It might be an original song. No, it's not linked to a game at all. It might just be because it's from what seems to be an album called Vistas. It's possibly just, you know, ambient music. That's probably what that's from, actually. Oh, now on to Hengsha. That's not a different zone. Let's see. But yeah, Ocean Hotel looks like it was actually from something that was. Yeah. Let's go music. Yeah, it's a short one. I can't remember what it's from. Hengsha is from something, and I looked up previously when it came. Well, you know, not previously. Like I have looked up before when it has come up. So let me have another look for what Hengsha's from. Deus Ex. This is actually from Deus Ex Human Revolution. Wow, it's not from it, it's inspired by. But yeah, that's what that is. It's amazing. The number of times that Miracle of Sound has made amazing music for games that are just awful. I mean, he gets inspired by these games, and, you know, if he likes the games, then, you know, power to him. Power to anyone who likes, you know, certain games. But for me, just, I tried playing Deus Ex, and it ended up on Masochism Monday because it put me to sleep. Just playing the first bit of it put me to sleep. It put chat to sleep as well. So, I'll just let it finish out. I've only got a few more seconds left, so I'll let that finish out, and then that's where we're gonna stop the music. There we go. Right, move that down and to its normal position. Oh, let's think about its normal position. All right. So that's where I'm going to be ending things for today. Thank you all very much for coming along and for all your support. It's all greatly appreciated. Like I said, you know, starting, you know, leaving off a little bit early because my brain's going a bit weird on the scale designs. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, honestly. I really don't. We should see either next week or beforehand. But yeah. Next stream for me is going to be tomorrow at 4 PM BST, which is in just over 12 hours. And I will be doing Unsighted. Need to actually also do the. In fact, I'll put a after stream note. After stream, announce Unsighted as one-off game for Monday. Right, there we are. Yeah, so thank you all very much for coming along and for all your support. It's all greatly appreciated in whatever way you've chosen to show it. I know we've had quite a fair few lurkers today, and that is no problem whatsoever. I've got no issue with people lurking, especially with the way that everything is, you know, is set around this. This is very much a lurkable stream, and I know it lulls a fair few people to sleep. Because, yeah, that's just what happens when it comes to my voice. But yeah, I shall see people in the next stream in about 12 hours or so time, I said. Are there any special shout outs? Nope, none whatsoever. That's completely fine. But yeah, until next time though, thank you all again for coming along, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening, a good night, a good day, a good afternoon, or a good morning, whatever the time is for you. Till then though, stay safe, stay amazing, and see you later. Bye.